Yo, what is up YouTube? I'm Joe with Sports, and today we are back again with another video. Today we're going to be talking about some news from around the NFL, including pressers and training camp. The first thing I want to talk about are some comments that were made by Ravens wide receiver Odell Beckham Jr., who stated that during his time with the Rams, had he not been injured in that Super Bowl that they won against the Bengals, that they would have won by a lot more and that he may have even put up over 200 yards receiving. On the surface, these takes may seem absolutely blasphemous, but in reality, I believe that there is logic in both of them. The way that game was going, and the way the whole Rams season was going, was their dominance in explosive downfield passing plays. And this was due in large part to the rocket-armed quarterback Matt Stafford and his connection with the versatile Cooper Kupp. But with Beckham in the mix after a midseason trade from Cleveland landed him in Los Angeles, that attack got even more dangerous, with the new addition of Beckham really complementing the games of Stafford and Kupp. And it really did make a big impact, especially in the first quarter of that Super Bowl, where Beckham was the star of the show, catching multiple passes and scoring the game's first touchdown. But after his injury, it was a completely different game. The Bengals' solid defense was able to thwart many of the Rams' possessions and keep it close for the young passer Joe Burrow to try to whittle the lead down. And although the Bengals were unsuccessful and lost in a close game, I do think if Beckham had stayed healthy, we would be talking about a completely different game. Another thing I want to talk about is the new starting quarterback in Houston, Mr. CJ Stroud, the second overall pick out of Ohio State in this year's draft. He has officially usurped Davis Mills as the starting quarterback in Houston after his performance in camp has improved. Originally, before the draft, there were knocks on Stroud for his possible intelligence flaws and his lack of processing. But if you watched him in college, you would know that Stroud is a high-level field processor, an accurate thrower of the ball, and a great decision maker. He showed off all of these attributes in his playoff game against Georgia, which, although he lost, consisted of him absolutely dicing up a generational college football defense. There's no doubt that I think Stroud has what it takes. To be fair, he plays for the Texans, an extremely flawed team, and he will be starting right away, I believe, so I wouldn't expect him to set the world on fire out the gate. That being said, I think he will end up being their guy, and he will have a successful career. Another rookie quarterback, who I'm not so sure about, is also taking over. The Texans' division rival Colts are now going to be led by rookie Anthony Richardson, the 6'4", explosive athlete out of Florida. The thing about Richardson that I'm not so sure about is his overall processing ability, accuracy, the kind of thing Stroud is really good at. We all know Anthony Richardson's specialties, his unbelievable athleticism and his rocket missile for a right arm. We've seen this guy, he can make a lot of throws, he makes unbelievable plays with his legs, but can he put it all together? Can he be a team's reliable decision maker and franchise player at the quarterback position? Right now, I would tell you no. If he's starting week 1, I would imagine that he's going to go through a ton of struggle and growing pains before he ever solidifies himself as a reliable starter at the position. I'm not saying that AR is definitely going to be a bust. For example, there's a guy who's similar to him out in Buffalo, Mr. Josh Allen, and I was not too fond of him coming out. And I remember after his pretty poor rookie season, I was telling everyone I knew that I knew Josh Allen was going to be a bust and that I was so sure of it from the start. And I'll admit I was wrong on Josh Allen. So I'm not just going to slap that label on AR just because he's a similar player and he's currently extremely raw. There's definitely potential for him to learn, for him to be groomed by veteran Gardner Minshew, who's the other quarterback in that Colts room. And yeah, I definitely see a way in which AR becomes not just a viable starting quarterback, but a Pro Bowler and one of the best in the entire league. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed.